representing UJA Federation. And thank you very much for holding these hearings, Mr. Chairman. It's very important to, as you said, get at the contributions that immigrants actually make to our economy, not just to constantly demonize them. I'd like to speak a little bit about the kinds of services that are needed and that are provided to help immigrants do that very thing. And of course, that wouldn't be possible without the partnership with the City Council. And here's a thank you for the Immigrant Opportunities Initiative, the Adult Literacy Initiative, which are focused, of course, on immigrants, but also other initiatives, various senior and child care initiatives, where from which immigrants also benefit, both as clients and, frankly, as employees, because some of the fields that are funded by, or some of the sectors, I should say, that are funded by the City Council are the first vocational fields that immigrants are able to get into, such as child care workers. UJA Federation is a little bit unique. We're an umbrella of 106 social service agencies, but we're also a foundation ourselves, and we last year gathered close to $300 million from our tens of thousands of donors, which go to serve to fund the social service agencies. We work closely with our donors to help our advocacy, because many of them are business leaders in their own right and have standing connections. It's useful. So we have formed the UJA and Immigration Task Force, and with that task force, we mostly work on federal immigration issues. So, for example, we had the chair and the members of our task force recently write letters to the New York State delegation regarding the STATE Act, which you all have spoken about before, which it would impose just employer sanctions, and it's just a hammer with regard to immigrants. It does nothing positive. On the social service side, I won't take you through all the different services. I just want to talk a little bit about the lessons learned. One is that services for immigrants really ought to incorporate professionals who are immigrants themselves. So we have agencies that are executive directors are immigrants, and immigrant service programs that are developed and run by immigrants and with staff who not only speak the languages of their clientele, but often come from that culture, and they understand some of the barriers and issues and natural inclinations of the clients that they serve. And we also find that in addition to English as a second language classes, which are so fundamental, as you all know, and the legal services that need to be provided to immigrants, especially as citizenship has become more difficult and more expensive to obtain, you need to have services that are like case management, which are provided to other non-immigrant clients, but that are particularly focused on immigrants, because often where the same person who is not native born needs to come in and inquire about housing, about Medicaid, and other entitlements, they're so concerned about status, legal status issues, and there are language barriers, that it takes a different kind of book and level of assistance in working with them. So it's often important to marry the ESL and the legal services together with those other immigrant case management type of services. The other thing that we've done, which I'm very proud of, is to help immigrant entrepreneurs and start business clubs, particularly for immigrants, often in their own language, because as you all know, there are many pockets of New York where the populations are vast enough that somebody can open a small business and really operate in their own language before English becomes comfortable for them. And they're still, not only are they living with themselves and their family, they're contributing to New York's economy. So we found that to be really an important part of what we do, although small scale, because finding funding is difficult. And that actually isn't done with philanthropic funding. So it is indeed a partnership between council and us and other agencies. And then the last thing I'll just mention, because people had asked here previously about how to work together in various coalitions around these issues. A couple of the things that we've done is around service delivery in coalition with other agencies. So two examples actually that happen to be Brooklyn. We have a Jewish Community Council of Greater Coney Island, which is serves a lot of poor and senior Russian immigrants and just Native and Jewish elderly poor have partnered, as well as, providing vocational training. They have partnered with COCO, which is the Council of People's Organizations, which is run and serves mostly the Southeast Asian community. And they've partnered to really make the money go a little further in working with both Russian and Southeast Asian clients. Another example is an organization that we have, the Jewish Board of Family and Children Services, which is a citywide organization doing a lot of mental health and youth and foster care services. They have an after-school program, mostly because it happens with Russian youth in Brooklyn. They've partnered with Arab American Institute, which has a program for mostly Arab youth after school. And they're bringing those two groups of youth together who attend a high school, the same high school, to create better understanding amongst themselves. That also serves immigration purposes, obviously, because these are young people who are coming from different cultures with stereotypes about the other cultures. So this is also important work. We'll have close with that. Thank you.